Hello and welcome, HP Gaming Garage. Next up, we've got esports versus real sports. When we think about how esports has evolved over the last 20 years and it's become more professionalized, a lot of the lessons that they've learned have come from traditional sports. Traditional sports has been around for roughly 120 years or so there's a lot of similarities and comparisons to be made that we're going to talk about today. So I think you'll enjoy this lesson. Stay tuned afterwards, take your learning assessment, and you can become certified. Thank you. See you on the other side.
Today's lesson will discuss the similarities and differences between esports and traditional sports. In recent years, esports have become increasingly popular, with many wondering what sets them apart from traditional sports. But what exactly is esports, and how does it differ from traditional sports? Before diving into the differences between esports and traditional sports, let's define each term. Esports, also known as electronic sports, are competitive video gaming tournaments that are organized and played at a professional level. Esports have become an increasingly popular entertainment, with professional esports leagues and tournaments now being hosted in cities worldwide. The most popular esports games include League of Legends, Valorant, and Rocket League. Professional esports teams are made up of highly skilled players who compete against each other in tournaments for the chance to win prizes, such as money and valuable in-game items. Professional esports athletes have also emerged as esports popularity has risen exponentially in recent years. High-profile companies are now sponsoring professional esports teams, and some of the world's most successful gamers are earning millions in prize money each year. Traditional sports are athletic competitions that have been enjoyed for centuries, such as football, basketball, and baseball. These sports typically involve physical activity and competition as teams battle against each other on a physical playing field. Each sport has unique rules and regulations, often passed down from generation to generation. Traditional sports have been used to build community relationships and foster healthy competition, providing an excellent way for people to stay fit and active. Additionally, traditional sports have improved mental health and well-being and created positive lifelong memories for those participating. While the rules and regulations of traditional sports may have evolved over time, the core values and principles that make them so great remain the same. Esports and traditional sports have been intertwined for decades, mutually influencing one another in many ways. Traditional sports have significantly influenced esports, inspiring the development of countless popular games such as FIFA, NBA 2K, and Madden. Conversely, esports have also profoundly impacted traditional sports, with many sports teams and organizations investing in esports teams and competitions. Additionally, esports have introduced a variety of new technologies and innovations to traditional sports, such as advanced video game-inspired camera angles, augmented reality overlays, powerful analytics, and cutting-edge player tracking systems. This has allowed for an unprecedented level of data-driven analysis, helping to improve both professional players' performance and traditional sports fan engagement. As the popularity of esports continues to grow, it is clear that the two worlds will continue to coexist and influence each other in exciting ways. Now let's talk about the similarities between traditional sports and esports. Similarities between traditional sports and esports' competitive nature. Both traditional sports and esports have a competitive nature, where players strive to win against their opponents. This drive to succeed makes traditional sports and esports exciting to watch and participate in. Whether it's a basketball game or a gaming tournament, the thrill of competition is a common factor between the two. Skill-based. Traditional sports and esports require high-level skill and training to excel. In traditional sports, players must possess physical ability, while in esports, players must have hand-eye coordination and mental agility. Both forms of competition require dedication and hard work, and both reward players who put in the time and effort to improve their skills. Teams often involve teams of players working together to accomplish a common goal. Teamwork adds another layer of excitement to the competition and allows players to support one another and work together. The importance of teamwork is evident, whether it is a basketball team working together to score a basket or a gaming team working together to defeat their opponent. Spectators. Both traditional sports and esports attract spectators who enjoy watching the competition and cheering on their favorite players or teams. Whether in a live sports venue or online, the excitement of watching a game is a common factor between traditional sports and esports. Rules and regulations. Both traditional sports and esports have established rules and regulations governing gameplay. As a result of these rules, the competition is fair and consistent, ensuring clarity and understanding during the match. Training and practice. Both traditional sports and esports players must engage in training and practice to improve their performance and reach their full potential. A player's dedication to physical, mental, and strategic training in esports will determine their success. Sponsorship and advertising. Traditional sports and esports are also heavily commercialized. Traditional sports and esports both have sponsors and advertisements integrated into gameplay. Broadcasting. Esports and traditional sports are broadcast live on television and online, allowing fans to watch from home. As a result of this accessibility, fans can follow their favorite teams and players more easily. Fan culture. Both real sports and esports have dedicated and passionate fan bases who follow the games closely and engage in discussions and debates about their favorite players and teams. This fan culture adds another layer of excitement to the competition and helps to create a sense of community among fans. Differences between real sports and esports. The most obvious contrast between traditional sports and esports is that traditional sports involve physical activity in a live setting, while most esports competitions are organized virtually and can be viewed on the internet or mobile devices. Regarding the gameplay and experience, both categories of competition differ significantly. For example, traditional sports often involve teams competing against each other, while esports often involve individual players facing off against one another. Regarding the rules, traditional sports tend to be more structured, with referees, set timeframes, and other parameters that must be followed, while esports typically have less structure and are more open to improvisation. Furthermore, traditional sports tend to have a more physical component, as players have to be physically fit and able to move quickly, while esports usually don't require the same level of physical fitness and agility. Finally, traditional sports often require a significant financial investment in terms of purchasing equipment and paying for venues, while esports are typically much more affordable and accessible. Another difference between real sports and esports is the required equipment. Real sports often require specialized equipment tailored to the specific sport, such as a basketball, baseball bat, or tennis racket, while esports typically only need basic computer hardware and a gaming console or mobile device. Moreover, while real sports may require additional equipment and clothing to ensure players remain safe, such as helmets or protective padding, esports players can participate in tournaments and competitions without worrying about such safety precautions. All in all, the equipment needed to participate in esports is much more accessible and affordable than in traditional sports. Real sports typically demand a certain degree of physical skill and fitness, while esports rely more on hand-eye coordination and mental acuity. Athletes and gamers must possess the physical and mental fortitude to succeed in their chosen sports, yet athletes prioritize physical strength and conditioning. This disparity in the necessary skill set needed to excel in each sport significantly affects the type of people playing them and how the games are played. Physical ability becomes less of a factor in esports, and knowledge of the game, strategy, and quick reflexes become increasingly important. Furthermore, the physical demands of esports are much less, making it more accessible to a broader range of people. In contrast, traditional sports can be exclusive due to the fitness and physical strength needed to compete. Real sports players often engage in physical training and conditioning to improve their athletic performance, while esports players must hone their cognitive and strategic skills to succeed. The training regimens for each type of competition are quite different, as the physical and mental requirements are distinct. For example, physical training for athletes may involve lifting weights, practicing drills, and running drills. At the same time, esports players typically need to practice on their own or in teams, studying their opponent's strategies and honing their reactions and reflexes. The differences in training methods for each form of competition clearly demonstrate the unique skills required for success. Real sports can cause more physical harm, such as sprains, strains, and fractures. On the other hand, esports carry a much lower risk of bodily injury. However, they can still cause mental burnout, eye strain, or repetitive stress injuries due to the highly competitive environment and long hours spent playing the game. While physical injuries may be more immediately apparent, it is crucial to recognize that esports players' mental and physical health should be taken just as seriously as in any other sport. With the proper precautions, both real and virtual sports can be enjoyed safely and responsibly. Real sports offer a unique, live, in-person spectator experience that can be difficult to replicate. Compared to this, the engagement of esports fans is often limited to viewing games and competitions on a screen. This notable difference in spectator experience influences how fans engage with games and creates a distinct atmosphere for competitors. For example, the excitement of attending a live sporting event and interacting with fellow fans cannot be matched by simply watching an esports competition on a screen. In addition, real sports often have a more tangible connection to the teams and athletes competing, as fans can watch them in person, while in esports, that experience is more removed. These factors contribute to the different experiences between real sports and esports. Real sports have long been played in dedicated sports venues, such as stadiums and arenas, where teams and athletes compete against one another in highly competitive events. By contrast, esports can be played anywhere with a computer or gaming console, allowing gamers to participate in tournaments and championships without leaving the comfort of their homes. Even so, many esports championships still occur in arenas, drawing in thousands of spectators who come to cheer on their favorite players and teams. Such events are now becoming increasingly popular, and many professional teams have even dedicated their careers to becoming the top esports competitors in their field. Traditional sports often require a certain level of physical ability, making them less accessible to people with disabilities who may not have the same physical capabilities as others. This means that many individuals who would otherwise want to participate in sports do not have the opportunity to do so. On the other hand, esports are more accessible to the average individual because it does not require the same level of physical ability. Instead, esports primarily rely on hand-eye coordination and mental agility, skills that can often be learned and improved over time. This means anyone can participate in esports regardless of their physical abilities, making it a highly inclusive recreation. Real sports games often take a significant amount of time to complete, with some lasting several hours, while esports games are typically much shorter in duration. This difference in game length greatly impacts how fans experience the games and how the competition unfolds. For example, sports games often have longer breaks between points and rounds, while esports games are much more fast-paced and action-packed due to their shorter duration. Whereas esports games are relatively short. Ultimately, these contrasting game lengths can significantly impact how athletes and spectators experience the sport. Real sports spectators have a unique way of being involved in the game. They cheer, shout out words of encouragement, and generally make their presence known. On the other hand, esports spectators are limited to cheering and other forms of motivation, as they have limited interaction with the players during live matches. This difference in the level of spectator interaction undoubtedly affects the way fans engage with games, as it can change the atmosphere and the overall experience. It's important to consider when discussing the differences between the two and how they are viewed in the public eye. Esports and traditional sports differ significantly in their approach to intellectual property rights. Video game and esports publishers have full authority over the development and usage of their IP. This means they can set the rules for who plays their games, where they can be played, and how much money they can make. Publishers can also decide which teams or players have official gaming sponsorships and can even design their own tournaments and leagues. This gives them much control over the entire esports space, allowing them to shape and curate the gaming experience for players. Ultimately, the publisher's control over their IP allows esports to thrive and grow. Sports and esports differ significantly in their broadcast and consumption, with traditional broadcast media being the primary source for broadcasting real sports. In contrast, esports events are mostly watched on live streaming platforms. This offers esports fans a unique advantage as they can directly interact with the players and other fans in the live streams. This level of engagement is seen in something other than traditional broadcast media. It is a major draw for esports, allowing fans a more personal and intimate connection with the players in the game. This level of engagement also helps to create a sense of community among fans, as they can come together to discuss the game, share tips and strategies, and even speculate on potential outcomes. In addition, due to the constantly changing nature of esports, this level of engagement helps keep fans up to date on the latest developments in esports. Ultimately, this level of engagement is a key factor in helping to make esports such a popular form of entertainment. Let's recap what we've learned. The most notable difference between traditional sports and esports is that traditional sports involve physical activity in a live venue, while most esports competitions are played in a virtual environment that is viewed online or on mobile devices. Real sports often require specialized equipment, such as a ball, bat, or racket, while esports typically only need a computer or gaming console. Real sports require a certain level of physical ability, while esports rely more on hand-eye coordination and mental agility. Real sports players typically engage in physical training and conditioning, while esports players focus on mental and strategic training. Real sports carry a higher risk of physical injuries. In comparison, esports carry a lower risk of bodily injury, but may have a higher risk of mental burnout, eye strain, or repetitive stress injuries. Real sports offer a live, in-person spectator experience, while esports are typically watched on a screen. Real sports are played in dedicated venues, while esports can be played anywhere with a computer or gaming console. Traditional sports are less accessible to people with disabilities, while esports are more accessible to the average individual due to their hand-eye coordination and mental agility. Real sports games can last several hours, while esports games are typically shorter. Real sports spectators participate in the game by cheering or shouting encouragement, while esports spectators have limited interaction with the players during live matches. Esports and traditional sports differ in how they control and own their intellectual property. Game publishers ultimately control video games and esports, but no single entity controls traditional sports. Esports events are often watched through live streaming platforms, which provide a unique opportunity for fans to engage with the talent, while traditional broadcast media is typically used for broadcasting real sports. Conclusion: esports have come a long way since their inception, and they have become a global phenomenon that has captured the attention of millions of people. They have also changed the landscape of traditional sports, with many traditional sports teams now having esports divisions and even leagues of their own. We have concluded our course on real sports versus esports. This course has provided an in-depth understanding of the similarities and differences between traditional sports and esports, regardless of whether you enjoy playing or want to learn more about them. I hope you found this course informative and engaging. Thank you for watching, and I hope you continue to explore the exciting worlds of sports and esports.
This completes the module. Stay tuned for the HP Gaming Garage Learning Assessment so you can complete your certification. Thank you for joining us.